What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to EP09. Alright, so I have one topic that I want to discuss with you guys today because this is something that is really gaining a lot of heated discussion online, and I just had to jump in and say something about it. Tonio Burton versus Rafael Brandao. The battle seems to continue even after the Arnold Classic Brazil has taken place. Tonio just appeared on the Muscle Discord podcast recently with Matt over there, a good friend of the channel here. I'm going to put the full video in the description below for you guys, but Tonio talked about some of the favoritism that he saw towards Rafael Brandao when it came to this show. He talks about some of the other things that took place while he was training there in Brazil. You know, the fact that Rafael Brandao kicked him out of his private gym only days before the competition, the backstage experience between Tonio trying to get oil and just Rafael's overall attitude, the results in particular Tonio talked about, and how he thought the judging was more in Rafael's favor, how they gave him more time to really recover and rest between posing rounds, and really just the fact that Tonio truly believes that with Rafael's physique that he showed up with at this show, that he should not have won based on what Tonio brought in comparison. And Rafael Brandao responds directly to all of these things that Tonio has to say. So I'm going to run you guys a clip from the interview, and we'll look at Rafael's response after that. Check it out.
I mean, I said it online, I'll say it again. He wasn't conditioned enough to win any pose.
Yeah.
You know, that's, if you had someone like Steve or Tyler judging,
yes,
he's not making a call out with that conditioning.
No.
And then to even speak on his glutes, if you seen the stream, he has lumps in his glutes.
It was like, man, would you like? Are you done dieting here? It looks like.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a lot of. So that's why when I seen the scorecards, it was just kind of like, yo, he smoked me that bad with all that going on. I shouldn't compete. And, you know, and it took, you know, for my woman and even, you know, my coach and everything to be like, hey, ignore that.
Ignore it.
He was like, because in my head, like I said, I told him, I was like, yo, I think I'm done for a while.
Now, in regard to the response from Rafael Brandao, this was really very interesting. Rafael says here, and it's a little bit lengthy, you guys, but I'm going to read the whole thing for you. It says here, "Hello, Tonio Burton. I'm going to explain some things to you that either you didn't understand or pretended you didn't understand. Firstly, my gym is private and was already scheduled to be closed a few days before the show, just for me and my team. And even though you were going to compete against me and are not close to me, I allowed you and your team to train and create content within my gym, and I didn't even complain that you clogged the toilet and trained in your underwear. About the backstage, I only had two companions, my coach and my wife. All the other people who were there were not there for me, but for their own sponsors. But we are in Brazil, where thank God I have many friends. I was lying with my towel on the same backstage floor as you. There weren't any exclusive privileges for me. You even had more companions than me. Regarding my oil," he says oil painting here, the oil on his body, I'm sure, "each athlete has to take care of their own. I have a friend who was doing this for me, and you should have someone on your team who can do this for you too. It wasn't the championship that provided this especially for me. Regarding the result, when you complained that you were judged unfairly, you are not speaking ill of me, you are speaking ill of the judges. They are professionals trained to see who is the best as a whole, and not just in one muscle group. Regarding my physique, it's not my fault if you at your best weren't able to beat me. You, at your maximum conditioning, still had no separation in your quads and hamstrings, no detail in the shoulders and chest, and competed with little muscle volume. And regarding my attitude backstage, I was there to focus on the competition and not to make friends. If you really wanted to make friends, this wasn't the time. Finally, secure your qualification and see you at the Olympia. Or not. Respect my country." So all of these points really are in stark contrast to what Tonio had to say based on his experience. But you guys, there really is no denying the fact that it did seem like Rafael did have some preference when it came to being in Brazil. He was able to towel off when other competitors weren't able to. They did do the callouts that did seem to favor Rafael when it came to the amount of time he would be able to recover between posing rounds. And I mean, you guys, I said it in my wrap-up video. Rafael literally was crying during his individual posing routine for about 20 seconds straight. How is that professional enough to go and win the show? And I do still firmly believe, based on what I was seeing on the live stream, and not just the live stream, but the HD pictures that I saw as well, I do think that Tonio was ahead after prejudging, especially because Rafael did not have any detail in the hams and the glutes from the back, especially like I said at prejudging, but just overall, I really think Tonio had the better overall package. But this really does put in question some of the validity when it comes to judging at these Brazil shows. So are other American competitors going to look at this and really say, why would I go and compete in Brazil? It is not going to be fair to me. They are going to favor the Brazilians. It's definitely a possibility. And you know, the other thing is, these muscle contest international shows, they are indeed international. You see shows from muscle contest happening over in the United States even. The Cali Pro coming up is a muscle contest show. So are American competitors going to look at that show and say, maybe it's not something that I want to do. Maybe I'll want to do a show after that, like the Toronto Pro or the Vancouver Pro. But like I said, this is really a heated discussion online that just really seems to be starting out. So I wanted to get on here and find out what you guys think of this whole situation. Do you think that Rafael Brandao was truly shown favoritism at this show? Do you think that American competitors may consider competing elsewhere than Brazil in the future? And what are your thoughts on Rafael's overall response as compared to what Tonio had to say? You guys let me know below. Anyway, that's it for me in this video, you guys. Thank you for tuning into EP09. Be sure to like and subscribe.